All right, this is case number 24 CR 172, State of Ohio versus Gene Michael Belisle. Are you Gene Michael Belisle?
Yes, sir.
Is that how you pronounce that, Belisle?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Mr. Belisle, you were indicted by the grand jury on the 3rd of December on charge of rape and 2 counts of kidnapping. Count 1 is the rape allegedly occurred on or about July 12 of 2008 in this county. You engaged in sexual conduct with a person identified as V and compelled that person to commit by force or threat of force. That's a first-degree felony, and since this is an old charge, what was the sentence at that time, Ms. Collins, remember?
10 years.
10 years, all right. 10 or 11, it wasn't 11, wasn't it?
No, that passed at the end of September.
Oh, okay, all right, so it looks like that's an 11-year sentence as of that time. And then 10 years. Count 2 and 3 are both alleging kidnapping, and the count 2 alleges it occurred on or about July 12, 2008 in this county, and is a continuous course of conduct in Fayette County that you by force, threat, or deception removed V from the place where they were found or restrained that liberty of V with purpose to engage in sexual activity against V's will. And then count 3 alleges that's under 2905A4. And then the third count is the same title, but it's under a different provision, 290501B1. And alleges that you committed the offense on or about July 12, 2008 in Highland County, Ohio, and continuing course of conduct in Fayette County, either by force, threat, or deception, knowingly under circumstances creating risk of serious physical harm to V or cause physical harm to V. The V was a minor, and you removed V from the place where V was found. That would be a first-degree felony as well. Both of those would carry maximum sentences of $10,000. And also count 1 would require registration as a sex offender if you are convicted. All right, now you are entitled to have an attorney, and if you don't have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. I see you have filled out a financial statement. Is everything on that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this is the first time you've been in court on this case?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court will appoint Attorney Jacob Wagner of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you in the absence of counsel or not guilty plea. Ms. Collins, I forgot to ask, has the alleged victim or victims or the representatives been notified of the time, place, and purpose of this hearing?
We have attempted to contact her by email and to her phone number. I'm guessing that she's at work today, and that's why we weren't able to get in touch with her.
All right. And the court enters a not guilty plea on behalf of the defendant. I set a bail review hearing for Tuesday, December the 10th at 10:15 a.m. First pretrial will be scheduled for January the 8th at 1:00 p.m. Final pretrial will be set February the 5th at 1:00 p.m. and the trial date will be set for February the 24th at 8 a.m. Bond will be set in the amount of $250,000 plus OR, which is a promise to appear, and if you fail to appear, if you're released on bond, you can be prosecuted for an additional felony, and if convicted, sentenced on that no matter what happens in this case. You'll also be under pretrial supervision should you make the bond. And the probation department located at 117 East Main Street. If you do make bond, you're to report there immediately upon your release, and then once a week for 4 weeks after that, as they determine, I go random drug testing. They may order, provide phone numbers for home, cell, employer. No contact with the alleged victim or family of the alleged victim. If recommended by probation, you'll be evaluated for substance abuse and mental health issues. If any treatment's indicated, you enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings in this or any other case, appointments with attorney or probation officer in this or any other case. You can also attend any kind of job training, educational programming, and church services. All right, we will notify your attorney of his appointment. Do you have any questions, Mr. Blau?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, are you Kenneth K. Skaggs III?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is arraignment in two cases involving Mr. Skaggs. The first is 20 CR 239. That was an indictment that was returned on November the 3rd. Do we have a arraignment entry in here?
Should be.
Yeah, I know there should be, but I don't see it.
I know there was one on the 22 case.
No, I don't see the one. Oh, here it is, 22. All right. Look here. Let's see. Okay, I guess we don't have those that far back. So we'll have to use a blank entry then. All right, so in case number 22 CR 15, the state, for the case is failure to comply with order of a police officer, and in 20 CR 239, it is theft, and the prosecutor's here, Ms. Collins, and has the alleged victim or victims of the charges in the 20 CR 239 case been notified of the time, place, and purpose of this hearing?
Well, we attempted to contact South Central to advise on the arraignment, and the representative that we would deal with is out of town until next week. We also attempted to contact the commissioner's office. That entire office is closed. They've all been out all week because of a conference. And then we were able to reach Brian McNeil in the 22 case, and he does not wish to bring the updates.
There's a victim in 22?
Was a failure to comply, so we always consider the officer.
Oh, okay, right, all right, thank you. All right, now, Mr. Skaggs, you were indicted in the 20 CR 239 case on charge of theft, which alleges that occurred on or about July 2, 2019, continuing through September 21, 2020, in this county with purpose to deprive the owner of South Central Power of property knowing obtained or exerted control over that electric, valued at over $1,000 but less than $7,500 without the consent of South Central. So that's a 5th degree felony. And then the vandalism charge alleges on or about the same period you knowingly attempted to cause property owned, leased, or controlled by a governmental entity, the Hardin County Commissioners, and the amount of harm involved was over $1,000, less than $7,500. Both those are 5th degree felonies carrying possible term of incarceration of 6 to 12 months and a fine of $2,500 in each. Now the charge in 22 CR 15 alleges that on or about August 28, 2021, Hardin County, Ohio is continuing course of criminal conduct in Ross County, Ohio. You did operate a motor vehicle as defined in ORC 450101 to willfully elude or flee a police officer after receiving a visible audible signal to bring your vehicle to a stop, and the operation caused substantial risk of serious physical harm to persons or property. And that is a third-degree felony which carries, if convicted, a possible prison term between 9 and 36 months, a fine of $10,000, a mandatory license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, were either of these cases filed in municipal court before they were indicted?
I don't believe so. I usually have a binder form in the file if they were, and I don't in either case, so I don't believe so.
All right.
Well, I know in the 22 case, he wasn't able to catch him, so he just,
Oh, he was not, oh, I got you. All right.
he just did a direct indictment. And that,
All right, gotcha. All right. The court will appoint attorney, well, let me back up. Look at the financial, you did fill out a financial disclosure form,
Yes,
Mr. Skaggs?
yes, sir.
All right. Court will find that you are entitled to appoint a counsel, appoint attorney Dennis Kirk of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you in the absence of counsel, enter a not guilty plea in each case. We'll set your bail review hearing for Tuesday, December 10 at 10:15 a.m. in both cases. First pretrial will be set for January the 8th at 1:00 p.m. in both cases. Final pretrial set for January the 22nd at 1:00 p.m. both cases. Trial in the 20 CR 239 case, the theft and vandalism, will be set for February the 10th at 8 a.m. And the 22 CR 15 case will be set for February the 13th at 8 a.m. All right, bond in the 20 CR 239 case will be set in the amount of $10,000 plus OR, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony no matter what happens in this case. In the fleeing and eluding, court will set that at $20,000 plus your OR. In each case, you'll be required to pay a deposit of $171 to cover certain statutory fees prior to release. If you make bond, you'll be under pretrial supervision of the Probation Department, 117 East Main Street. You're required to report to them immediately upon your release. Should you make bond, you'll be required to report once a week for 4 weeks, and after that, as they determine, undergo random drug testing, provide current phone numbers for home, cell, and employer, have no contact with the alleged victim in 20 CR 239, alleged victims. Go under random drug testing if ordered, provide if there's a directive to be evaluated for substance abuse and mental health issues issued by the probation department, you'll undergo that, and if there's any assessment or any treatment recommended, you'll enroll in and follow that during the pendency of this action. You'll also be under house arrest at your residence, meaning that you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case, appointments with a probation officer in this or any other case. You can also do any kind of job training, educational programming, and attend church services. All right, we will notify your attorney of his appointment, and we'll have your hearing to review the bond on Tuesday. Do you have any questions, Mr. Skaggs?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, are you Stacy Thacker appearing there from the jail?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is case number 24 CR 170, State of Ohio versus Stacy Thacker. Ms. Thacker, you were indicted by the grand jury on December the 3rd on aggravated possession, aggravated trafficking of methamphetamine, second-degree felonies. Second-degree felonies of that level carry a mandatory prison term of between 2 and 8 years, fine of $15,000, mandatory fine of $7,500, and a possible license suspension of 6 months to 5 years. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you in this matter. Oh, I'm sorry, you also have forfeiture specification. So seeks to forfeit a 2013 blue Volvo that's alleged to have been involved in the commission of these offenses. The offenses are alleged to have occurred on or about November 12, 2024 in this county, and in count 1 involved the alleged sale of methamphetamine an amount over 5 times bulk, and count 2 alleges possession of the same amount at the same time and place. Now, you are entitled to have an attorney to represent you. If you don't have the money to hire one, the court will appoint one for you. So you have filled out a financial disclosure form. Is everything on this form correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is this the first time you've been in court on this charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Court will appoint attorney Danielle Witt of Hillsborough, Ohio, to represent you, and in the absence of counsel, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. We'll set your bail review hearing for December the 10th at 10:15 a.m. All those will be by Zoom. Also, Deputy, I didn't note that, but they will be by Zoom. The
Yes,
first
sir.
pretrial will be on January the 8th at 1:00 p.m. Final pretrial will be January 22nd at 1:00 p.m. Trial will be set for February the 13th at 8 a.m. I do see from the court network, Ohio Court Network report that we have a failure to appear on a summons in 2014 and also a warrant for failure to appear in 2015. And this is a mandatory sentence if convicted of, as I said, 2 to 8 years. So the court will set bond in the amount of $20,000 plus your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. And if you fail to appear, you could be prosecuted for an additional felony. And if convicted, sentenced on that, no matter what happens in this case. You also will be under pretrial supervision. If you do make bond, you'll be required to report immediately to the probation department, 117 East Main Street. Report to them once a week for 4 weeks after that as they determine. Undergo random drug testing in order. Provide phone numbers for home cell employer. Recommended by probation. You'll be evaluated for substance abuse or mental health issues and treatments indicated. You'll enroll in and follow that during a pendency of this action. You also want to be under house arrest at your residence at 622 South East Street. Hillsborough, meaning you have to be there at all times unless you're working, going to and from work, medical appointments, court proceedings, in this or any other case. You can also go to appointments with an attorney, probation officer, in this or any other case, attend any type of educational courses, job training, etc., church services, and family holiday events, but you have to go directly to and from those events. If you fail to comply, the court could revoke that bond and have you held to further order of the court. All right, we will notify your attorney of the appointment and have your bond review hearing Tuesday. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.